Alright, good morning folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you are watching the court case, yes, this is me and I am recording my personal video so that I have a copy of this. So if you're watching the court case, enjoy this look with me and well, we'll discuss everything at the end. First of all, once again, I would like to thank Revolution Beauty London, Revolution London, what does it say? Revolution Makeup London for sponsoring today's video. There's two portions to Revolution London. There's Revolution Beauty, as a matter of fact, three. There's Revolution Beauty, there's Revolution London, and now there is Makeup Revolution London. This is the third portion. So the first portion was Revolution Beauty. The second portion is Revolution London, and which is all the liquid stuff, which is the foundations, the concealers. That's all Revolution London, all the liquid application. And then the Makeup Revolution London is the eyeshadow application. Revolution Beauty and Revolution London is the powder to lipstick application. So basically what those palettes are, why they are so they have a lot of fallout effect, is they are meant for your lips. They are meant to either outline your lips or completely cover your lips. And that's why the shadows are like that. That's what they are meant for with Revolution London, Revolution Beauty. These are meant for eyeshadow specifically. Okay, so thank you once again, Revolution Makeup Revolution London, for sponsoring today's video. And as I did yesterday, we're going to be breaking this up in four sections: eyes, face, powder, eyes, face, which is liquid, powder, setting, and then lips, and then we will be done. But I'll be doing it on my face entirely. So we're gonna start off with eyes, and I am going to zoom you in so that you can see the application on my eyes nice, quiet, and clear. And the shade that I am going in with is the shade Canary. Yesterday, which was it? Yesterday we did this shade with this base. This base does not work with Canary, so I will be going instead with a concealer that works best with the shade Canary, because as I said, each of the eyeshadows do not work with the same base. They all have different base. So with this one, Canary, which is this yellow one right here, I'm going to be going in with this concealer, which is best to apply the shade. Okay, so let's go in with the concealer first on the eyes in order to get a proper base. And yes, I need a new concealer. As I said yesterday, I need a new concealer. So let's go in with this one, and this is the shade 57 from Maybelline Superstay. Okay, so that is the concealer, and I need to find the application brush because I need it to work. And this is where you need a dense blending brush. This one is a dense blending brush as well, but it's a wide angled dense blending brush. This is a round tip dense blending brush, and each blending brush is for each different shade because each shade picks up and blends differently based off of the shape of the brush and the hair bedding of the brush. Okay, so for this one, because it's a very muted shade, you need a round blending brush because it has more packing and it can pick up more of the color of the muted shades. This one can pick up more of the base color and allow the color to stay. This one picks up the colors of the muted shade, and as you can see, the shade Canary right here is a very muted shade. So you need a round, dense blending brush in order to apply the shade Canary. So let's go in and let's dip the brush into the shade Canary. And that is what I mean when I say you need a round, dense blending brush in order to get the most value out of the Canary shade that is very muted. Okay, so going in using a mirror, handheld mirror, to help apply. And as you can see, as I'm applying on the concealer, there's absolutely no issues because I'm using the right brush, the right type of brush to apply the shade, and the shade is blending in very well and it's matching to my skin tone automatically. You will see when I apply the foundation and the skincare base how it will match eventually to the foundation and skincare, but right now I'm applying it and it's applying and matching to that of my skin tone alone. So let's continue onto the other eye. Okay, and let's see if I can pick up any more, but that's as muted as the shade will get. The shade never gets any more muted like this with my eyes, not unless I add foundation after, of which I will be adding foundation after. So you will see the difference once I add foundation after, how the muted shade picks up in hue to the foundation to my skin. That will be a part 2. And that happens every Sunday when I film. He does that every Sunday. Every single Sunday he does that. It happens every single Sunday. So now I'm going in with a lash primer, and what this does is gonna help pick up on the muted shade because the mascara on its own sometimes can dull out the muted shade even worse, making it look as though you didn't apply any eyeshadow at all, which in some cases, depending on what you're going for, is a very good thing, but I want the eyeshadow to be brought out in this case, so I'm going to be using this eyeshadow primer to help bring the eyeshadow forth a little bit more. And this is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer, and it's pretty much as I said before, it's the same as the Maybelline one. There's just a huge price difference. The Maybelline one is $15, almost, well, actually $18 in store for the Maybelline one, while that one is about anywhere from $5.99 to $6.99, which is this one. That's basically the difference. And then the other difference is the mascara, the wand, and how it applies to the lashes. That's the other difference. Okay, So like I said, with the Maybelline one more widens the lashes. This one lengthens and widens depending on how you rotate. So you can get a lengthening as you've gotten there, and you can get a widening effect. And right now, this is the lengthening effect right there. Okay, so just putting just a little bit more of the product onto the wand for it to spread properly on this eye, or for it to apply properly, not spread, apply, not spreading butter, we're applying mascara. Okay, so that's that. That is that right there. That's that product. And then we're going to go in with this mascara, which is more of a widening tip mascara from Essence. It doesn't really give you length. So yes, if you want length, you're going to use this to pull the length. And then you're going to use this to widen. This is more of a widening bristle tip mascara. So use this product in order to widen the eyelashes. However, even though it only widens in the form of shape, it brings out the pigmentation in the mascara itself, helps to bring out the eyeshadow even more, so it doesn't look so muted upon the completion. And as you can see, the eyeshadow is already picking up and not as muted with the primer alone. So that's the eyeshadow with the mascara primer. And you've seen the eyeshadow without the mascara primer. You could barely see it with the mascara primer. You can now see the eyeshadow. Now let's show you how it develops even more with the mascara. Okay, so that is it with the mascara, and this is what the eyeshadow looks like upon application. And you're focusing mainly on the left side of my eye where the mascara was applied. And if you're looking very closely, you will see that the eyeshadow is becoming even more pigmented, of which it should become even 3 times pigmented upon the application of the foundation. So that's what you're looking for. So that's the right eye with the left eye with the mascara, and this is the right eye without the mascara, of which I'm about to apply right now. And yes, some of the mascara got in my hair there. Okay, so this is part 1, which is the eyeshadow application. And then you have it with a mascara primer as well as with the mascara. Let's see the eyeshadow, how it brings itself out even more in tone and shade with skincare and foundation in part 2, which is de ne ce soit, part 2.